Uttarakhand, unfortunately, is yet to recover from the man-made disaster that struck Joshimath, as a ground investigation on Saturday indicated that parts of the town may have sunk by 2.2 feet. Now, that same investigation revealed that cracks are now visible in Chamoli's Karnaprayag too, which is just about 85 kilometers away from the sinking town of Joshimath. Now, close to 50 houses have developed cracks and 8 with severe damages have been served notices to be evacuated immediately. In fact, people have started moving out of the hilly areas now, and they are now moving to the plains. CNN News 18's Nikhil Lakhwani spoke exclusively to one such affected family, which has now been shifted to Dehradun. Let's take a look.
On the lines of Joshimath, cracks are now visible in Chamoli's Karnaprayag 2, which is 85 kilometers away from the sinking town Joshimath. This is the picture which we are showing you from outside one of the residents, that how thick the cracks have become. But the residents of the area have been saying that this is in place for about over an year now. But because of the media coverages in entire Joshimath, this is the reason that finally the government has taken a note of the same. Now, this picture tells you as to how the trouble is being given to them by the natural causes or some man-made causes, because the residents have been saying that it is because of the road construction outside their place is the reason behind these cracks. But this is something which is going to tell you that how major the cracks are in this particular house. In fact, in the nearby places, 50 of the residences, 50 of the houses have suffered damage, but 7 to 8 are the houses which have been given the notices to evacuate the place at the earliest. So the cracks are now visible not just in Joshimath, Karnaprayag, but there are other places as well of Uttarakhand which are now reporting huge cracks. But the government is saying that they have to shift to the non-permanent places. Families living in mountain areas have started shifting to nearby safer location because it is no longer safe to reside at the original place of residence. We are currently reporting from Karnaprayag, which is just 85 kilometers away from the Joshimath, the sinking town, so to say, and the man of the house has directed all the remaining family members to shift to Dehradun, which is comparatively one of the safer location. This is the picture that we are bringing you from this particular residence. Clearly, you can see that this place is no longer able to serve the residents who are living here. And also it becomes at the same time unlivable at the moment. कितना मुश्किल होता है, क्या कारण था कि आप लोग को यहाँ से जाना पड़ा?
बच्चों की सुरक्षा के लिए यहाँ कब छत गिर जाए कोई पता नहीं है। बारिश हो रही तो बारिश ऐसी हो रही कि दिनों दिन आप देख रहे हैं कि फर्श के कैसे टुकड़े टुकड़े हो रहे हैं, तो इसलिए हमें सुरक्षा के लिए हमको यहाँ से जाना पड़ा। बहुत हमको रात को नींद नहीं आती, हम रात भर बैठे रहते हैं कि भाई आज बारिश हो रही है, अब क्या होगा वहाँ पे। अब हम कह नहीं सकते इस बारे में कि हम कितना क्या फील होता है, नए नए क्या क्या ख्याल आते हैं कि अब तो गिरी गई होगी छत।
पहली बार इधर देखा था तो मेरे लिए तो बहुत, मतलब इस जगह से मेरे इतना ज़्यादा रिलेशन है, मैं बता नहीं सकती किसी को भी। मैंने अपने भाई को पहली बार देखा था, आज उसी को रोते हुए देखती हूँ कि क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे। बहुत बुरा लगता है जब ऐसा दिखता है, और मना करने के बावजूद उन्होंने कटिंग लगाई है। मेरी दादी, जिनकी एज 85 से ज़्यादा होगी, वो सीढ़ियाँ नहीं उतर पाती, पर वो नीचे भागी उसको बोलने की मत करो कटिंग। वो ड्रंक था बिल्कुल ही, उसने मानी नहीं किसी की बात और लगा दी। जेसीबी जब लगा ना, पूरी ज़मीन वाइब्रेट कर रही थी।
लगता है कि पापा को भी बुला लेना चाहिए देहरादून में।
अब उनकी सेफ्टी के लिए तो लगता है, बट आएंगे भी कैसे? उन्होंने भी अपने फादर को ना लास्ट टाइम इधर ही देखा, वो कैसे आ सकते हैं?
Now, we were talking about how the sinking town of Joshimath has already seen a kind of exodus because it is a requirement now, considering as per the ISRO's National Remote Sensing Center, there was a data that was shared which showed the sinking of Joshimath between December 27th to January 8th by 5.4 centimeters. However, there was a gag order that was given by the center on ISRO, and that data has been taken away from the website. Let me take this across to Nikhil, who was bringing us that report from Karnaprayag. Nikhil, the situation is worsening. We've already seen what has happened in Joshimath. Just 85 kilometers away from Joshimath is Karnaprayag, where you're currently at. You've brought us those really, really searing voices from there. People losing their houses where they have literally grown up. And we also, on the other hand, see gag orders by the government talking about, withholding of information. How much of that is justified, considering there are people anxious about their spaces that they have lived for several centuries and they'd have to vacate it because of the reality that is there? However, that information right now is being withheld.
Yes, this is something which is now the official order by the administration. The member secretary of the NDMA, he has written an official letter, and this is the notice which has been issued to all the government institutions, directing them that they have to refrain from posting anything on the social media and also to speak to the media, because there is this expert committee which has been formed to ascertain as to what are the causes behind the land subsidence here in Joshimath and other places of the Uttarakhand. Until that report is officially filed and released by the member secretary of the NDMA, nobody is allowed to offer their expert comment on the same in the public domain. It is also at the same time we need to understand that the economy of the state runs through the tourism. And if any of the panic is triggered because of the land subsidence report, this is something which will bring a lot of damage for the economy of the state at the same time. And also if we talk about the Joshimath in particular, Joshimath is a gateway which leads towards not only to the pilgrimage site Badrinath and Hemkund Sahib, but also to the India's premier ski resort destination, that is Oli. So it is one such place which binds both the places, and this is something where the tourism is high during the winter season. And almost, if we go by the data in particular, 80% is the reduction of the tourism which is now witnessing in this particular area because of the trigger of the panic among the tourists. So at the same time, the government needs to take care of that thing as well. But on the other side, a survey as well which is underway in different parts of the Joshimath to find out the actual cause as to what is the reason, concrete reason, so to say, behind the land subsidence, and how the government is going to make sure that the damage is reduced in the days to come. Because now, as per the reports which have been filed by us in last few days, it's been over a week now. We have been traveling to different parts of the Uttarakhand. Now the migration has also started. We have seen that many of the families have started shifting to the safer plain locations. This is also one such thing which the government needs to look after at the earliest. So this is something which we are reporting from. And there are other reports as well that the widening of the cracks continues to take place here in Joshimath and in different parts of the state.
All right, Nikhil, thank you so much for that. With that, I've come to the very end of this edition of News.